Okay, see, there is a reason, actually, that Donald tweets so much. He does it to distract the media from his business conflicts and all the very scary people in his cabinet.
Oh, that does make sense.
Very clever, sir.
Actually, that's not why I do it. I do it because my brain is bad.
If there was one group of people who were pretty uniformly never Trump this year, it was Hollywood and other celebrities, except for, say, Kanye. As we crept closer to that fateful November day, many musical artists, actors, and other performers ramped up their civic engagement to persuade people to get out the vote for Hillary Clinton. Some felt so strongly about their political choices that they even shed some tears or protested when their candidate lost. Since election night, some, like Alec Baldwin, have used their artistic platforms to speak out against Donald Trump. But how will our artists respond to the 4 years that come after January 20th? Jamil Smith and Zerlina Maxwell are back with me. But joining me now on set here, Sirius XM host Dean Obadala and Liz Winstead, co-creator of The Daily Show, is out there. Where are you, Liz?
I'm in the frozen tundra of Minnesota.
Ah, Minnesota. I was just in North Dakota just for Christmas, so I know all about the tundra. Hey, Liz, let me start with you. The latest inauguration news. You know, the Mormon Tabernacle Choir is going to be performing at the inauguration, but there was a member who quit the group and announced it on Facebook. Let's play she gave an interview with MSNBC yesterday. Let's play a bit of that.
There are a number of people that feel that going out to sing for this particular candidate expresses conflicted message that might undermine the beautiful message that choir has for so many decades worked so hard to cultivate with so many people.
I guess
it's not just America's choir, it's also the world's choir too. For me, this is a moral issue where I'm concerned about our freedoms being in danger as time goes by.
You know, Liz, I mean, the Mormon Tabernacle Choir is a world-famous choir, but she's a regular, everyday person who's a member of that choir who's taking a very public stand. You think we're going to see more people like her taking a stand so publicly like this?
Yeah, I mean, I think that the reason you saw it in the ramp up and during the campaign and now the election is the fact of the matter is so many, first of all, entertainers are often crazy, messy people who have found solace and found a way through entertainment to, you know, express who they are. And also, it's a really hard road to get to be an entertainer. And when people put obstacles in front of you, it's going to be the kind of thing where it's like, I don't want to be a dance monkey, if you will, as a performer for somebody who has said, I would like to criminalize the fact that you would like to have an abortion. I would like to demonize the fact that you are gay. You know, it's like, it's very personal for people who come from alternative lifestyles, enter show business, to have to say, no, I won't entertain you. It is not my job to make you feel joy.
Another, Jamil, famous entertainment group, the Rockettes. Yes. They're going to be performing for the president-elect, by then the president, during the inauguration. And one Rockette gave an interview to Marie Claire, where she wrote, Mary said that as far as she knew, none of the women of color in the Rockettes had signed up to perform at Trump's inauguration. It's almost worse to have 18 pretty white girls behind this man who supports so many hate groups, she added, noting the group's already embarrassing lack of diversity.
Well, I think no performer should be forced to perform at the inauguration. I think that you know, certainly that letter that they received sort of pressuring them, I guess it was from their union, pressuring them to perform was just completely out of pocket. Now, I mean, if they want to protest, and I suspect that a great number of them do, I think that there are ways to manifest that protest in their performance. You know, I don't suggest maybe that they do it in pantsuits or something like that, but I think
I vote for that.
But I think that maybe,
Totally.
I think maybe what would be important for them to do is to just, if they can, sit out, do something to signify that they are not happy to be there.
You know, Dean, okay, so we talked about the Rockettes, the Mormon Tabernacle Choir, but now we've got Chrissy Teigen out there who is going back after Trump about his comment about A-listers not wanting to perform for him. So Donald Trump tweeted, the so-called A-list celebrities are all wanting tickets to the inauguration, but look what they did for Hillary. Nothing. I want the people, exclamation point. And Chrissy tweets, hi, we are people. You are our president, too. I don't want you to be, but you are. Also, we all know you are dying without the approval. Deal.
Absolutely. Look, Kellyanne.
Oh, I'm sorry. That's dear. That's my old eyes there. I like deal better, but dear, sorry.
First of all, Kellyanne Conway said a few weeks ago, hey, Bruno Mars, Justin Timberlake, give us a call. Just yesterday, Sean Spicer, the spokesperson, said Quincy Jones is coming to the New Year's Eve party. Quincy Jones said today, I'm not going to your New Year's Eve party. He wants celebrities. Maybe there are Russian celebrities he can get. Maybe some big hacker, or maybe the band Pussy Riot. It works on on a few levels, I think, with Trump. It's Here's the thing. Here's the truth. As a performer, if you're going there, I'm being honest, you are validating and mainstreaming Donald Trump's sexism, racism, and bigotry by going. You're saying it's okay to demonize Muslims and Latinos and brag about sexual assault and demonize and shame women who come forward to say they've been victimized by Donald Trump. So my fellow performers out there, stand strong. Don't perform for this man. You are honoring him, you're validating him, and you're mainstreaming his hate, and there's no place for it in the country.
I don't know what's left to say, Zerlina. After what Dean said.
You know, I think that celebrities and entertainers and creatives, more broadly, they don't want to be associated with Donald Trump. And certainly the core of creativity, I think, comes from resistance. And I think that over the course of the Trump administration, we're going to see some really great art because we're going to have somebody in the president that, like Dean said, demonizes so many different groups of people that will want to speak back to that kind of division.
And also, I mean,
But I would say, Zerlina, it's pretty scary.
Yeah.
Oh,
Go ahead, Liz. Go ahead.
Yep.
Oh, I was going to say, I would normally agree with you, Zerlina, in every other administration, but when you hear things like from Kellyanne Conway, like, people better be careful about what they say about the president. My fear is that we're going to be punished for speaking out. I mean, my job is to hold the powerful accountable, and if that's going to be threatened, I mean, I don't care. Throw me in jail for, bringing up the hypocrisy of Trump. So be it. Jail's going to be super fun.
Well, I mean, we're kind of joking about this, about being thrown in jail. Right. But there is, to my mind, a very real concern how seemingly overnight we have gone from, hey, America's more united and more free and more open, to people actually talking about, with just half joking, about going to jail for exercising their right to free speech.
I've never been concerned in my life, actually, that all the articles I've written about Donald Trump, and there's been countless demonizing him or commenting on him in the Daily Beast, could be used against me to prosecute me on some level, or at least call it a chilling effect. That's what he tried to do with Saturday Night Live by going after them. Right. He wants a chilling effect. And just so it's clear, this is not Democrat versus Republican. With George Bush 2000 inaugural, he had Destiny's Child, including Beyonce was there. Ricky Martin is huge. There were no issues. This is specific to Donald Trump. This is a man who trafficked in sexism, bigotry, and racism. And that's why they're saying no. It's not conservative liberal. This is Donald Trump and saying no to this man.
Right. And I mean, you got to also look at what's going to happen with the sports world. You think about a different phase of entertainers. I mean, I seriously doubt that the next NBA champion is going to perform the ceremonial duty of showing up at the White House and letting Donald Trump lift their jersey. I seriously doubt that. I mean, there'll be other sports, baseball, perhaps the NFL, that will show up. But I guarantee you there will be black players and other players of color who sit out because they do not want to go and celebrate with a man who has a white nationalist chief of strategy.
Senior, and also think about what was just aired recently, the Kennedy Center Honors.
Right.
Now, it was taped a few weeks ago, but I remember hearing from folks who were in attendance. Folks were talking about, oh my God, what is this going to be like next year? Who's going to accept an honor to be there with Donald Trump, and who are those people going to be? I mean, is this Ted Nugent's opportunity to finally become?
I think so.
The Kennedy Center Dynasty.
Not just typecast, but some country
finally
music
get
stars probably
recognized.
will show up.
What, Liz?
Scott Baio's work will finally be recognized. I mean, we can go through Charles in Charge. We can really parse that out and see the brilliance that is Baio.
Busey.
Gary Busey.
But the one thing to keep in mind, the Kennedy Center honors are not picked by the president.
Well, that's
It's
true.
an independent
That is
committee.
true.
That is true.
But this year, Stephen Colbert made fun of President Obama to his face good-naturedly. I wonder if next year's comedian can make fun of Donald Trump. Will it be allowed? And that's a question all comedians have. How will he try to chill our impact and our freedom of expression?
You know, I want to play this SNL clip. Okay, one of my favorite skits of all time on Saturday Night Live, whenever it's done, is Black Jeopardy. And the one they did during this campaign was just brilliant. And I'm just play it.
Let's go to They Out Here Saying for 8.
Okay, the answer there. They out here saying that every vote counts. Oh, Doug again.
What is, come on, they already decided who wins even before it happens.
Yes! Yes!
Let's go to Big Girls for 200.
Okay, the answer there. Skinny women can do this for you. Doug.
What is not a damn thing?
Yeah, you
I mean, the brilliance of this skit was that you saw through comedy the commonalities between African Americans and the so-called white working class, how culturally they are the same, but as that skit goes on, then when it hits race,
well, you remember how it ends.
Right.
You remember how it ends. When it gets to which lives matter, oops. Well,
nice while it lasted, Doug.
I think SNL, I worked at SNL for 8 seasons. I think at its best, it really is informing you, making you laugh, it's educating you. This year, they've done a fabulous job with the whole stuff with President Trump elect and going after him. I hope we see more of that. I hope Donald Trump's attempt to silence him does not work.
You know,
I also think too.
Go ahead, Liz. Go ahead.
It's like everything else that we talk about with citizens having to rise up and put their voices out. There are so many ways for comics and people who respond to the world to not have to rely on, you know, big media. Like, just take a stand. Do it on YouTube. Do it on your Facebook page. You know, you can do it everywhere now, and to be a present voice is going to be more important than ever.
Yeah, and I think Kate McKinnon, the Saturday after the election, singing Hallelujah as the cold open. If you want to know that the show has its finger on the pulse of the country, that was it. Jamil and Dean are sticking around. Thank you to Zerlina Maxwell and Liz Winstead in Minnesota. Thank you for being with us. And make sure to check out Liz's Year in Review show, Controversy, available on pay-per-view tonight. Go to LadyPartsJusticeLeague.com for more.